Hi friends, it's Fumblin and welcome to Tier List Tuesdays. And if you're an old time fan, welcome back to Tier List Tuesdays. We're going to be doing tier list of the entire game today. We're not doing any fancy, funny tier list. This is just a strict who I think is good in the game and who I think is bad in the game. So let's get right down to it. We're going to start with SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob is an A tier character. He's right in the middle, right where he should be. He is an all-arounder. He's good at pretty much everything, but not bad at too many things. He's right there in the middle, and I think that he's a very fine character, and I hope that in the future a lot of the cast gets balanced around SpongeBob's level. I think that he's a really, really solid, but not too solid of a character. And then we're going to go Patrick Star. I think Patrick is better than SpongeBob in S tier. I think Patrick is borderline S tier. We've seen a lot of good results from Patrick recently. In Heat Wave, we saw Leo do really well. We saw Patrick at a high level in the Slime Box tournament that happened with over 800 people. He did pretty well. I believe he was in top 8. So Patrick definitely has the potential to be a really high tier character, and I think he's super solid right now. Squidward is our next character, and honestly, I don't see a lot of Squidward. I think that he's a decent character, but I can't put it in my heart. I can't place him too high because I just have not seen enough of this character. So we're gonna throw him in B tier. Hopefully, we get some really good Squidward players to show that he is indeed a decent character. But for now, we're gonna throw him in B tier because of the results. And Plankton, I'm also gonna put B tier because I don't think that he's an incredible character in any way, but he also definitely has the tools to compete. I've seen so many good Planktons play so well, and at this point it's hard not to put him in A tier, but we're going to put him borderline B tier for now. And then we have El Tigre. El Tigre is an S plus tier character. This character is insane. I think El Tigre is an incredible spacey type character. He kind of plays like Project M Wolf, where his shine kind of sends up and out like at an angle. It's really, really good for comboing, and El Tigre just is a super fast character and does not struggle really anywhere. He doesn't really lose too many matchups, if any. I'm not sure. I think that honestly he is the third best character in the game, and we're going to get to what I think the top 3 are here in a little bit. But first we're going to go right to Rocco. Now Rocco I'm also going to put down here in B. I've seen some good Rocco play, but I haven't seen enough like high level Roccos. I haven't seen any good placements from Rocco. So we're going to put him kind of low tier, but above Squidward, below Plankton. I think that's going to be a comfy spot for him. Hopefully he does a little better in the future when we get some good Roccos playing in the game. But Jimmy Neutron is an interesting character. Jimmy, we have Leviathan placing pretty well with Jimmy, so I'm going to put Jimmy as B tier. I don't think he's particularly that strong. He does have a lot of really funky setups that are difficult to get around, but I don't believe that he is particularly that oppressive. Although if you don't know the matchup, it can definitely be a really hard one to get past. So he's still a solid character in B tier. Now Lucy. Lucy is next. Everyone knows Lucy is a good character, so I'm going to throw Lucy in S plus tier. Do I think Lucy is better than the third best character in the game? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say I think Lucy is slightly better than El Tigre. I think Lucy is the second best character in the entire game right now. She is a menace. She has insane combo game. She has insane recovery game, edge guarding game. The only real big downside of Lucy is that she is relatively light, even in her normal mode, where she is the heaviest. So she does die relatively early. However, she can blow people up. She can absolutely just carry you to the edge of the stage. If you're a heavyweight, you're not surviving this character. If you're a lightweight, you might do pretty well. Honestly, I think that she does have bad matchups against floaties, such as, let's say, Danny Phantom, Aang, Ren and Snippy, SpongeBob. She doesn't do well into every character in the game, but the characters that she does well in, she absolutely demolishes. She is an incredible character, and I'm going to place her second best in the game right now. Angry Beavers. We're going to put Angry Beavers above Patrick in the S tier. I think Angry Beavers is the character with the most potential in the game. They have multiple different forms when you can go Norbert or you can go Daggett, and they have different playstyles for different situations. You can tag out with your assist, which I think is an incredible mechanic. Both of them are super good at edge guarding. The biggest weakness that they both have is that they have a hard time killing. The biggest kill moves are going to be like up strong on Norbert, or like down strong on Daggett. Up B can kill, it does good damage, but realistically you're not killing with this character less than 150, and I feel like that's a big issue for the character. But other than that, they are an incredible character. Their neutral is insane, their edge guarding is insane, their recovery is a little lacking, but overall I would put them up there with Patrick in the S tier. Garfield is the other Spacey of the game, and Garfield is not quite as good as LT Gray in my opinion, but absolutely a threat in the meta right now. You see Cake Assault doing so many good things with this character, and it's hard to argue that they are not top 5. They absolutely are a menace. They are super fast. They're the, I think, fastest character in the game with Sugar Rush, and they can just run circles around you. They have a very strong back air, super safe on shield. They have up throw confirms that are just so strong. They can kill you off the top with up special. Very good character. All sorts of tools to play with. Now we have Aang. Aang is at the top of A tier. Aang is pretty balanced. I'd say that he is very good, but not oppressively good. He is a character I don't really want to see nerfed too much, if at all. He can carry you off stage with his forward airs, and he can do all sorts of crazy stuff with that. But all in all, I think Aang is okay where he is. He is a solid character. He's floaty. He doesn't get comboed too hard at all, and yet he can dish out the damage back to you. So that's why he's that good of a character. Then we have Korra. Korra is, I think, the best S tier character. She is 6th best character in the game, in my opinion. Her Nair is absolutely nutty. She has 4 of them, depending on which mode that you put it in. Her approach is the best in the game. She just uses her side special and gets in for almost free. And she's just pretty much got a little bit of everything. Her recovery is on the weaker side without slime, but with slime it's incredibly good. Her edge guarding is not fantastic, but she can get a cheeky nair off stage and kill you really early. So she is just, she's kind of an all-arounder character, more focused on the approach than anything else in the aggressive game, but she can absolutely slow game down as well with her projectiles, and she just kind of has a little bit of everything. And she does have a few hard matchups, but ultimately an incredible character. Azula is the last Avatar character, and I'm going to place Azula right here below Korra. I think Azula is an amazing all-arounder character. She kind of plays like Falcon in Smash, with her up air and her back air. Her nair is kind of like a spacey nair. It's a sex kick, really good move. She honestly just doesn't really have weaknesses. She is a high tier character. She's not super high tier character, but she is a high tier character who just is an all-rounder who's good at basically everything. I don't really see too many downsides of Azula. I fought some super good Azulas like Dumei, and it can be pretty oppressive at times, but not so much that I'm gonna put them in S+ tier. Not just yet. We have better characters in the game right now. Speaking of better characters, there is a character I do think that is right in between Azula and Korra, and that's gonna be Raphael. Raphael, I think he's a sleeper character, honestly. We've seen really good Raphaels out there who are just dominating, like Plup right now, doing really good at Slime Box. Raphael is another character who kind of has a little bit of everything, a little bit of sauce here and there. His recovery is deceptively good, and he doesn't struggle very much in neutral with his projectile. He's super fast. He doesn't die very early. He just kind of has a little bit of everything, and I think that he is a character that we're going to see a lot more in the future. Unlike his brother, I think his brother is down here in B tier. His brother is, well, Donatello is a floaty who dies really early, doesn't have the best recovery if he doesn't have Smoke Bomb on stage. He does have some good hitboxes though. He has really good range on his moves, so he is not completely useless. He definitely has tools to compete. It's just that he dies early, he doesn't really have good combos, and his recovery is pretty lackluster. So we're going to put him down there right now. April O'Neil. I think April O'Neil is right in the center of the tier list. I think she is probably the most balanced character in the game. I would not want to see any nerfs on this character whatsoever. She is really good in some aspects. Her boom mic, her neutral strong, is really good. It has a tipper hitbox that kills super early. You can combo like into Nair strong in the air, and that can just kill it like 50. It's so good. But overall, I'd say that she's got weaknesses, but not really that many. She's more of an all-arounder, kind of like SpongeBob, who just doesn't have a ton of weaknesses to exploit, but also at the same time, she doesn't do anything particularly super good. So I'm going to put her right in the middle. I think that's fair right now. The best character in the game is Danny Phantom. Bar none. Absolutely no contest. I so want to put him above. But we're just going to put him in S+ tier with Lucy and them. He is an incredible character. He has a big, huge winning matchup on Lucy Loud, and does pretty well against the Spaceys as well, who are also top tier. He doesn't lose, I don't think, any matchup in the entire game. He goes even with a few characters like Gertie, El Tigre, Garfield, Reptar. He goes even with some characters, but I really don't think that this character has a losing matchup because his projectile is so good, his combo game is absurd, his kill power is ridiculous, and this character does not get comboed, and for some reason, even though he's light, doesn't die. It's just incredibly hard to deal with this character. He has all the tools he needs to compete. One of the best recoveries in the entire game with a teleport. It's just oppressive. I think Danny Phantom is gonna be hopefully nerfed in the future. If not, we're gonna see a lot more Danny coming up. And then we have our first C tier character. Unfortunately, I think Ember is not the best character. Ember is slow. She doesn't do a whole lot of damage. She has a hard time killing, and her recovery is pretty bad, even with slime. She just plays like an Ike, sort of like a heavy sortie, but without the heavy, you know. So I don't think that she's that good, to be honest. Hopefully she gets a few buffs in the future. I would like to see, I would just like to see her overall, some of her moves sped up a little bit, combo a little bit better maybe, have more hits done. She doesn't have a whole lot in terms of combos outside of up air and up tilt. So, yeah, hopefully she gets a little love in the future. Now we have Grandma Gertie. Grandma Gertie, I think, is an A tier character, pretty balanced, right in the middle. A little less than April and SpongeBob, so a little less down there, but still an incredibly good all-rounder character. Another character that plays similar to Captain Falcon with their signature knee attack that they have. Their up air is kind of like Donkey Kong up air, really good at comboing. She has these weird, this weird move that is like a turnip pool for Peach, where it pulls out a random item of a pool of like 15 or so items, and some of them are really strong, some of them are completely useless. It's incredible. With this character, just I don't even know how to describe Gertie any better than that. She's just not particularly great at anything, but also I can't say that she's bad either. She's definitely a good, like, mid-tier character, I believe. And then we have Gerald, another character from the Hey Arnold series. I'm going to place him right here between Rocco and Donatello. I think that they are kind of in the middle of B tier, so not that great, but I have fought a really good Gerald, who I believe took a game off of me or was really close to beating me. Either way, it's another matchup that Lucy just doesn't do great in because it's a floaty. Gerald kind of plays like a floaty. I'm not sure what his exact weight and fall speed are, but he kind of plays like a floaty with projectiles. He's got incredibly good projectiles, actually. He's got a frisbee that comes, that goes out and comes back. He's got a basketball that he can throw upwards. He's got like villager back air. It's like a slingshot, but it's actually just a football that he hikes. It's really kind of annoying, but really good. He does have tools. It's just that his kill power is really lacking, and his confirms are also lacking. He doesn't really have like a combo game, like almost at all, except for like up air. If you don't DI up air, you can get like up air, up B, and kill off the top. But again, it's a move that you can DI, and you just would get out of it. So I haven't seen too many good Geralds, so I am going to put him low tier. But I think this character has a ton of potential. We just have to see it. Nigel Thornberry. Nigel is a little bit better than Ember, but still not very good. I think he's bottom 3. Nigel, he's super light, doesn't have a lot of kill moves. His back air is incredible, but it does turn him around, so he can't spam it. He does have to land and turn around again to use it again. So he does have a good back air. He does have a really good kill move with his snap, but it just is so hard to hit. He doesn't have very many confirms into it. If you slime cancel it, it's weak. But he does do decent. He does do decent in matchups where people are potentially bad against floaty characters. Like, for instance, I think he does okay against Lucy Loud, even though he's C tier and she's S+ tier. Characters who struggle against floaties, Nigel has a chance, but he just usually dies way too early to make anything work, unfortunately. And speaking of making nothing work, Zim. I think Zim is the worst character in the game, unfortunately. I love Zim. He is my second favorite character. He is so fun, but honestly, Gur dies way too early. Zim does not have enough moves that are like particularly strong at all. His jab is really good. It kills it like 100 for some reason, but it's just, he's an inconsistent character. He doesn't really have combos. He doesn't really have like kill moves. He just doesn't really have much at all, if I'm being honest. He is a character that needs to be explored a little bit more. I know Sego is playing him a little bit, but it's not it. Even Sego is not playing Zim to his max capacity. I think that Zim does have potential, but it's just really hard for him right now. So I hope to see him buffed a little bit in the future. Jenny, XJ9. We have her in the bottom of A tier. I think that she is just barely a good character. I don't think that she's bad. I think that she does have enough tools to compete at a high level. Her Nair comes out frame 3. It's incredible. She can shoot 2 missiles at once if she uses an EX missile for her first one. The EX one will home, and then she can throw another one that she can use. So she's got really good edge guard potential with that. She's got a pretty good recovery, although it is vulnerable with no hitbox. It goes really far, and she can float with her umbrella. So she does pretty well off stage. Her back air is nutty. Her back air is insane. Probably the best back air in the game. One of the things that really carries her, because without it, she just doesn't have a lot of kill power. Her strongs do a lot of damage and a lot of kill power, to be honest, but it's just hard to hit those without slime canceling. So I'm going to put her right there, somewhat in the middle. She's a fairly balanced character overall. Reptar. Where do I put Reptar after the nerfs? I'm going to say I put Reptar in between the spaces here. Better than Garfield, worse than LT Gray, but has dropped down from second best, which I used to say in 1.1 he was second best, but now I think he's fourth. I don't think he's that much worse, realistically, but people are learning how to fight him, number one, and he did get nerfed a little bit. Actually, he got nerfed a lot, to be honest, but it was all little tiny nerfs, but enough of small nerfs will put a character a little lower. I'm going to put him fourth. He hits like a truck. This character does so much damage. He can edge guard like a menace. This character has combos, which you would not expect from a character like this, but he definitely has combos. He can do 80% in one hit if he has slime. This character is nuts. So he is a top 5 character in my opinion, and that's going to be my top 10 right there. Actually, if you're curious, I have finished the tier list outside of one character. We have Ren and Snippy. I think Ren and Snippy is right between Gertie and April, right there in the middle. Very balanced character, very annoying character. This character is a heavy floaty. So what that means is that this character is getting out of your combos and not dying to your kill moves, which is very strong for them, but they are a pretty slow character and they don't have a ton of options. You have a really good back air with them and pretty strong attacks and an excellent recovery with the car, especially if you have slime. But they're just too slow to be any higher, honestly. It's not that they're bad in any way, it's just that they're just a little too slow to really compete with some of these other A tier characters like Aang, SpongeBob, and April. It's just hard for Ren and Snippy to be better than those characters when they are so slow. But with the combination of being a heavy floaty and having good kill power and being able to survive a very long time off stage, I do think that they're a solid character, and I wouldn't really look to nerf them or buff them really much. I think the A tier is pretty balanced right now. S tier, balanced enough, maybe a nerf or two, and then S plus tier is where I want to see nerfs in the game, and I want to see buffs for characters who are in C tier for sure. And that's my opinion on the game right now, the state of the game, the meta. It's a really fine meta right now. I don't think that anything in this meta is too egregious. I do think Danny Phantom is all powerful right now. Danny Phantom is an incredible character and honestly does need big nerfs coming in the future. And I do want to see a character like Zim get huge buffs. I want to see this character be almost reworked even. So hopefully we see some of that in the future. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you agree with my list a little bit. If not, let me know in the comments what you think the best character in the game is, or who you think the worst character in the game. Just let me know what you all think about my list. And I'll see you potentially next Tuesday for another tier list. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Love you, bye!